Okay. Okay, I think that's good. Now then, let's do this. Oh, shoot. Sims 1 soundtrack. Oh, we got a viewer. Hello. Let me see what your name is. Eli Bruce. Hope you're doing well. Okay, let's do this. The music's not too loud, I hope. Checking the mic levels. The music seems fine. Gonna turn off the stream starting soon. Yeah, I think we're good to go. All right, I think we're good to go here. Oops. Careful there, phone. Let's get this party started. Okay. Let me turn this bad boy off. Don't need it anymore. Oh, turn down you go. Here, let me get a better camera angle. Hey Nathan, hope you're doing well. Where'd video go? Hello? Video. Oh, there we go. I guess it didn't like the sudden shift in angle. So just gonna move that. Let's get something a little more straight on. Okay. Okay, that should work. Okay, that's good. Just the focus. How we're doing on lighting? That's a lot better. Hello, everybody. Oh, there's my hand. Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. Uncle U back once again for another one of these kind of live playing streams. I don't know what to call them yet. I came up with the name Playtime. It's kind of a placeholder for now until I think of something better. So we'll see from there. Like I said last stream, I was in China recently, and I picked up a couple of toys. I did a poll yesterday about what people wanted me to look at next, and overwhelmingly, people wanted these bad boys. Metal Cardbots. It wasn't even close, honestly. But I guess it makes sense. I've reviewed a lot of Transformers, and these are kind of, Transformers, essentially. Let me just make sure that we're not overheating. Okay, we're good. All right, so what are these things? So to kind of explain, over the years, there have been a lot of these kind of Transformer toys that were not necessarily Transformers. I wouldn't say rip-offs. I kind of hate how that word is overused. But like there have been Transformer toys that have been out alongside Transformers, shall we say, some by the same company, Takara. They've made stuff like Shinka Lion or what's that other one? Brave Series. The Brave Series. That's a especially big one. And there have been in the 80s we had GoBots and Zybots, and there have been various other ones, none of which really took off until recently. So in case you don't know, in the past couple of years, there have been these transforming robot toys made in South Korea, not North Korea, the South Korea. I'm going to readjust the angle here. And they've actually been really successful. I think the first one was Tobots in, when was it? It's 2010. And there was Hello Cardbot. Hello Carbot, that was another big one. None of which took off all that much outside of Korea. Tobots and Hello Carbot did really big numbers in their home country of Korea, but kind of not really in the US. Although that being said, there have been some releases of like Tobots in certain territories. Like I believe there were some releases in the Middle East. I definitely know Hello Carbot was released in China because I did see some Chinese figures. But but none of them really made that big of a splash. Transformers fans, for instance, they knew about them but didn't really pay that much attention. However, and honestly, a lot of them are so similar to Transformers, I don't blame them. But these guys have taken off to honestly a crazy level, and now they're actually going to get a release in the United States. More on that later, though. So let's talk about them. I'm going to put one of them aside. All right, and let's look at the main guy first. So, because these toys are really interesting. So, um, We're gonna start with the main guy here. This guy here is Blue Cop. He's kind of the main character. Oh, specifically, this is Blue Cop S. There's so far 3 seasons of Metal Cardbot. There's Metal Cardbot, Metal Cardbot S, and Metal Cardbot W, I think. And this is the 2nd season. I don't know what's the difference between each season, but I think Metal Cardbot W has more like animal-like influences. I know that's the season that introduced the girl, which I have seen that fan art. Let me get readjusted here a little bit, and then we'll get started. How are we on heat levels? Yeah, that's the one bummer. One bummer here. The heat levels just get kind of crazy. So last stream we did, we had problems with overheating a lot. So what I'm gonna do for this one is every so often I'm gonna give my camera a little bit of a break and switch it over to a my webcams to give my camera a little bit of a break while we record, while I'm funky. So we'll do that. And but for now, let's have a look at Metal Cart, the first guy. And gotta say, as far as the design goes, there's an immediate difference between this and your average Transformer. Or at least an average modern Transformer. Let me get one off the shelf. That could have been disastrous. Let me get. Who's like a good, like, kind of stock, kind of deluxe figure? I don't want to use Optimus. I guess we could use Optimus. Who do I want? Who's like a good deluxe I could use? Let's use. Want to use Hound? No, let's use Sideswipe. Oh no. Sorry about that. Big old sneeze. Actually, let's not use Sideswipe. Let's just use Jazz. Jazz is like a good kind of basic one to use. Okay, so where did I put the mic? Where on earth did I put that microphone? There it is. Curse my strive for quality. I could have gotten a wireless one, but I know for a fact that one would probably sound like complete and utter ass wash. So let's do this. So yeah, compared to your average Transformer, there's a hell of a difference. So, and these are kind of both the, I guess the word is deluxe, like the very kind of, not quite super basic, although mind you, Transformers really doesn't do basic. Transformers doesn't really do basic anymore, outside of like the stuff aimed at kids. So there's immediately a big difference. Obviously, there's no getting around it. These are huge. We'll dive more into the price later, but these guys are huge. And I guess if you want to compare, these are very much big, chunky, and have a lot more paint on it, whereas Transformers famously doesn't utilize a lot of paint. Not that that's necessarily a bad thing. You know, it encourages a lot more play value. You know, you don't have to worry about getting paint chipped off. But at the same time, sometimes paint does really make something look really nice. So I'm actually going to get another figure real quick just to do just for a quick comparison later. So give me just a sec. You're perfect. Actually. Yo, hey, Mary Joy Rodabelle. Rodabella, hope you're doing well. Just live streaming and showing off the some metal Cardbots. Okay, okay. So if I had to compare these to any like kind of Transformers, if I had to compare these to any Transformers toy lines, really, if I had to compare these to any Transformers toy line, really, I'd have to compare it to Cybertron era in more ways than one. You got like big chunky plastic. You got more usage of paint, and the other thing is a lot of ratchet joints. You know, Cybertron had very clicky clacky ratchet joints, felt really nice. And these use even more ratchet joints, quite frankly, than than Cybertron. Have a listen to this, actually. Oh, hold on. Okay. Like, that's a lot. That's a lot of ratchet joints. Especially for something that's kind of the lower end of the figures. We'll dive more into that later. Yeah, just very, and they're strong. Like, I don't know if you can see this, but like, the figure, it kind of looks like the figure is vibrating a little as you do it. Just, ooh, I'm gonna stop that. That's getting dirty. Okay, but also, and also it also has the Cybertron-esque kind of kibble management, which is a lot of stuff hanging off the back. It's fine. You do get some weapon storage, and it's very subtle. I don't know if any of you guys spotted it, but sorry, I thought my phone went off. But he's got two little guns that store in the side of his legs, which is pretty rad. There you go. Oh, they don't plug in the best. There you go. Yeah, no, that is incredibly subtle weapon storage, which I really like. I wonder, getting them in is a bit of a pain though, so just be wary of that. Let me get these back in real quick, and then I'll continue. Good looking figure. Yeah, the kibble. The kibble, it's not the worst, but not the best. I'll dive more into the articulation in a bit. Although let's get him into. Let's see if I can get him into a bit of a funny pose. That's pretty good. That's a pretty good fun pose. It's even good than Transformers. Both have their strengths. Now then, I should know why it's called Metal Cardbots. Because there are cards. These things. I believe in the show. I haven't watched. Oh. Oh. Okay. Yep. Well, I figured this was coming, so we. I figured this was coming. Like, there's gonna be a little bit of overheating sometimes from my camera. That's just the nature of things. I could. I'm gonna let my. I'm gonna let my temperature. Same way Big Convoy stores the chin. Yeah. I actually have Big Convoy. Actually, I could. I actually have Big Convoy. I could show that. Or Beast Wars Megatron. Beast Wars Megatron stores those anchors in his little thing. But yeah, let's get this back on. Yeah, sometimes I'm gonna switch the webcam. It's just something I gotta do. Size comparison to my giant head. But yeah, it feels really nice though. Like and I'll dive more into this when I kind of film articulation, but I like that there's a lot of range of movements on these ratchet joints. Like how many positions is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's 10 positions. That's ridiculously good for a kid's toy. Like, hold on. I want to do a quick comparison. Hold on. Where are you, you big idiot? Do I want to get another big idiot? Yeah, I'll get him. Oh shit, I see Death Source. Yeah, I got Death Source. Your articulation good, yeah. Where'd I put my mic? There it is. Yeah, so give me a sec. Sorry if you're gonna hear a little bit of scrapping and scraping. Nothing we can do about that. Anyhow, like for a good comparison, here's Combiner Wars, Megatron. On which, in comparison, that's about 4 positions. That's and for his leg and yeah. You can still get some movement, but it's just nice to have a lot more range. And of course, the thing is also with this guy, this is from that era of Combiner Wars where, you got the very jumpy ratchet joints that just don't feel as good. And, Combiner Wars Megatron's a little funky with the arms. I don't think this figure's bad. It's got charm, but it's just a little. It's got the quirks of the time. It's especially crazy because just the size. The last Transformers we got that were that size class, was stuff like this, like old Titans Return Soundwave. And again, kind of a stiffer ratchet joint, though that might be due to age. Who knows? And I'm gonna demonstrate the. I think my camera's cooled off now. Let's have a look. Okay, how are we doing on heat? Not the worst, but not ideal. You know what? I'm recording on my on my laptop anyway, so I could what I could do is just get the video footage also from my laptop if I'm so worried about the old heats. So I'll keep the fan running. Hopefully it's not too bad for you guys. So let's have a look at the articulation. I'll keep him there. So, oh God, yeah, those wrenches just sound amazing. Okay. So let's do this. Let's do some articulation. You got a really nice ball jointed head, actually. I think it's on a dumbbell joint. So you get the full 360. He can look down pretty dang far, look up pretty far, and a little bit of side to side, which just adds a little bit of, just that can add a lot of personality to a figure. That's really nice. There's articulation at the shoulders. That's more for the transformation, but if you wanted, you could give him the hot rod thing. Then, as far as the shoulders, they can go up like that, but you got to be careful. There's sometimes a little bit of clashing, so just be wary of that. Unfortunately, there's no kind of rotating joint here, which I think is a little bit of a lost opportunity because it means that if you want to turn the arm around, kind of can't. And unfortunately, and there that goes. Let's reattach that. I do think that is a massive bummer. I should note this is Blue Cop S, which is the upgraded form. I don't know how the original Blue Cop was. As far as arms go, the range of movement is not ideal. That's only like 1, 2, 3 positions. So a little bit of a shame. It's kind of weird that it's ratcheted, though. You'd think they could do... some little thing. Again, I wish there was like a joint here or here to just allow for that Slow-Key ASMR section, yeah. But you do get a waist swivel, which is really nice. So I guess that does help a little bit. You get some skirt flaps, which are really nice. So the legs have a lot more articulation. They can go up, go down. The kibble is articulated too. In fact, move it back a little bit more or mess with the legs a little bit. You can get a lot more movement in. So, some position. As we demonstrated before, really good spread. There's swivel at the upper thigh, which is, all well and good. But I wish, these give us some, guns akimbo action. I think that's such a shame. And then, I think I already demonstrated knee. There is a way you can get a little bit more by moving this, which is more for the transformation, but it does allow you to move a little bit more. These move in and out, but that's more for the transformation. There's a toe bend. Again, that's for the transformation. No ankle pivots whatsoever, but honestly, this guy has very big heels, so I've never had a problem with standing him. Let's do some tests. So let's do this, a good old Kung Fu kick test. Yeah, the kibble's still. Oh yeah, the kibble is on a swivel. So, yeah, so you can. I think we might be able to get a decent kick if I position it just right. Yeah, no, I don't think he'll be able to do the... Oh, wait, hang on. Maybe. Let's try like this. Yeah, no, I don't think I'm going to be able to do like the usual Kung Fu kick. It's just, yeah, I think it's a little too big for that. But, let's see. Let's do a dab test. Let's do the dab. guess, unfortunately, again, just due to the way the articulation works, or that's as good as it's probably going to get. Which actually isn't that bad. It's not a bad little dab. But it looks heroic. You can pull it off. Honestly, it is slightly better articulated than some Cybertron toys. I just wish, it had some certain little things that go a long way. Any poll suggestions in chat? I'm gonna. It's not the worst. Could be better. Yeah. I imagine this is aimed at kids, so I think they're gonna be happy with the articulation. But just I can live without I can live without stuff like wrist swivels and ankle tilts. He's big enough that I'm not worried. But a rotation. Iron Man landing pose. Ooh, superhero landing. Good idea. Let's see. Let's see if I can get that in. I think for this guy, I might have to leave that off. So a little bit of this. His knees backwards. That's not good. I can get the toe in. Also. Oh, actually, wait. Actually, that actually kind of works. Hey, that actually looks kind of good. That actually works. Obviously, the head can't go up all the way, but that still looks nice. Now then, I am going to demonstrate something, and it's also why. And I'm actually going to keep his weird shield off for this because it kind of demonstrates something. So let me just attach this real quick. So the reason it's called Metal Cardbot, by the way, is because you get these little plastic cards, not made out of metal, and their weapons attached. I have no idea how it works in the show, but yeah, all their weapons and gear kind of attached to this, including the chest piece. So technically it's parts forming. I don't care, it's fine, although a little annoying. Camera's getting a little bit hot, so switch to this. Yeah. Actually, I can still demonstrate. I can still demonstrate even if it's not in 4K. Let's do that. So the way this works is you got this little card, you take it off, and then the weapons, they transform a little, they extend. If I can remember how. Yeah, there we go. There you go. There's I don't know if you can see that. There's a little thing you gotta adjust, and then you just kind of rotate. I think you're supposed to rotate this, right? Right? I'm not making that up, am I? Yeah, you are. I think I was rotating it a little bit wrong. There you go. And then you got, this little doohickey. Big goofy hand, which with disturbingly long fingers. It is articulated. If you look, there's a little swivel at the thumb and a little hinge joint. The fingers don't separate. You're not going to get middle finger action, unfortunately, but you can still, oh, do that and flex in the hand a little bit. It's goofy, but this would have this would have upped it to leader class on a Voyager figure for Transformer. No, screw that. It would have upgraded it to commander class. All right, let's turn it on and just get a quick filming, and then we'll record the, okay, and then we'll record the old transformation. So, to finalize, and then for the way the accessory attaches, it just plug it in like that. Nice and simple. Like that, I said. And there you go. Actually, the whole Iron Man thing might work even better with this attached. Hold on. Oh yeah, actually that works way, way better. It's a. Let me move my phone out of the way. I knew it. Yeah, no, that actually works. That actually works for a little bit of superhero pose. That actually looks really cool. Yeah. Chug, 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 chug. Yeah. I guess I could, and I guess if you get it like this, hold on, you can get a little bit of, it doesn't attach the best. You can get a little bit of, let's get me in here, get a little bit of the old pimp slap action, eh. That didn't go as far as I wanted. Let me try that again. And that fell off. And I actually got into a better position. It's a dumb accessory, but it gets the job done. It's something fun. But, the only thing is, I'm a bit disappointed about the cards. They got... Go away, me. The only thing I'm a bit disappointed at is the cards, because the cards have no sort of stats or anything. I think they're used in tandem with another toy. I did see there's like this metal breath toy, so it could be that. It's also a riot shield form. That would make sense. Police officer. Maybe he was he there during? Was this guy there during the martial law in South Korea recently? Nah, he's a good guy. So yeah. All right, why don't we do the transformation? Because it's a very simple but very fun transformation. I didn't mean to get myself back up. So let's do this. Let me get my camera a little more centered. There we go, that's better. They get put into a watch. That makes sense. That actually does make sense, Shin Kato. All right, before we do anything, I need my actual transformation music. There it is. Yeah, now we're talking. We are in loop mode, right? I kind of want to loop it. There we go, loop mode. Okay, so here's how the transformation works. It's pretty simple, from what I remember. So I already did one of the steps. You just get these up. You put the car mode arms in like that, and just kind of click them into a little peg. Let me raise the camera up a little bit so it's a little easier to see. Okay. Yeah. So you just, oh, it doesn't want to go in. And you just adjust the shoulders like so. Yeah, there's a little peg. Oh, almost forgot. You got to take this off. So yeah, parts forming, whatever. There. And then you just, I think you just lower the arms like that. Oh, come on, there we go. And then what we do is we bring the car doors around and rotate them. There we go. And then what you can do is rotate this. By the way, I like that this transformation works even if you have the weapons already stored. That's honestly really cool. Flipping the feet, and then click them in. And then you just compress. It's on rails. Not my favorite. Sometimes rails die over time, but these feel like very good rails. So let's hope. Make sure everything's lined up. And then, I love this step actually. I just kind of hunch it over. And there you go. Oh, and did I say this went somewhere? I lied. Yeah, you find her inactive. Was it not recording? Hold on. Was it not recording that at all? Oh, shoot. Why? Why? In fact, my camera's frozen right now. Yeah, my camera's completely frozen. That's weird. Hold on. Deactivate. Activate. There we go. Okay, I'm just gonna quickly make sure. You know what? It's such a simple transformation. I'll just do it again. Because it's actually, it's such a simple transformation, I'll just do it again. Because it's honestly a really fun one. So let me just readjust everything. Oh, come on. Out you get. Oh no, his leg's already out. So let's do it. Let's do it again. So what I like to do first, I like to pull this down and rotate these bits up. And as I mentioned in the recording footage, as I mentioned before, I like that the weapon storage, you can just kind of store them away. In fact, it becomes car exhaust later. I think that's very clever. Rotate in the feet, straighten out the arms and the shoulder pads, and pull this bit up. And then you just kind of, it's a bit of a pain, but it doesn't want to line up the best. You push in the shoulders and kind of click them in like that. And then you just rotate these around and line them up. There we go. And yeah, unfortunately, this has nowhere to go. Parts forming, not a fan. And then you just compress and bring it forward. Or make sure everything's lined up. And there you go, a beautiful kind of sports car. Okay, camera's getting a little hot, so I'm gonna turn off and switch to webcam for now. So, transformation is nice and simple and fun. It really does remind me of actually it reminds me a lot of Armada transformations. Let me get one off the shelf. Thankfully, the Armada shelf is so close by that I can pick up whoever I need with ease. There we go. So for comparison, here's Armada Hotshot. I know not everyone's favorite figure, but essentially it works very similarly, where you kind of have, a little bit of big chunky car parts that just kind of mash together like so. And it kind of makes sense. Armada and metal Cardbots, to my knowledge, are aimed at the exact same kind of demographic. Younger kids. It's I guess the word in Korea would be primary school. I don't know. Someone's got to help me out on that. But yeah, like that. Big, chunky car. In fact, honestly, and yeah, and I got to say, this is definitely a lot more substantial. But, this is still charming in a way. And of course, it's got a lot of spring-me-do gimmicks. But if you know anything about Armada, Soup says, it's been... let me look at the comments here. The cards have no storage because they literally appear from thin air. No one watches the show, so I keep hearing the cards have no storage. Pain. Yeah, they're just kind of accessories you put to the side. Compare with Red Alert Armada. They kind of look alike. Yeah. I got Red Alert. Give me a sec. In fact, Red Alert might serve as a good size comparison later. And can we see Jinrai? Which one, G1 or Masterpiece? It's been a while since we've seen a robot car pull. Yeah, no, that is kind of crazy. I'm switching back to the Sims music, by the way. Okay, let me get Red Alert. Actually, yeah, Red Alert's actually a perfect comparison. Both? You want both? Sure. Sure. Yeah, so here is Armada Red Alert. I'll do more of a size comparison later, but yeah, big chunky vehicle, big bits hanging off. Except, while Armada Red Alert is not as well articulate, doesn't have some of the articulation that guy had, they do remember an upper bicep, shoulder swivel, or whatever you want to call it, is important. I'm going to keep this on hand. That's actually a really good size comparison. I'll show you the Jinrais real quick. Give me a sec. Oh, that could have been bad. I almost knocked over my laptop. So I'm going to put down my real quick. Here they are, my babies, my Jinrais. G1 Jinrai here. Masterpiece Jinrai, MPG Jinrai here. Really excellent figures, both of them. I want to do a separate stream for this guy at some point, and for this guy too. But both are really good. Possibly my favorite Optimus figure. Well, Optimus adjacent, I guess, figure ever. Really goddamn nice. Okay. I think we're good now. Let's. Actually, should I transform? Red Alert for like a size comparison? I guess I could. But we're not done. We ain't done yet. We got another car to look at. Well, car. But you get the idea. All right. Let's camera back on. Let's fix this. That is unsightly. Let's lower it down a little bit because it's a little bit lower to the ground. only. I still find it painful that the cheapest and only cheap real Jinrai is the World's Smallest Transformers one. Oh, that sucks. If you have a look around, you might be able to find the G1 one for a little bit of a fair price. That's what I did. Anyways, so, brrr. Oh wait, no, let me readjust my camera. There we go. Round, round, round. Really nice car. Feels, it looks really cool. It's basically a very stylized kind of sports car, like a Lamborghini, which not used a lot in police work unless you're in Dubai. Yeah. Okay. I will say the number one distinguishing factor about metal Cardbots is the eyes on the hood. It's goofy, it's silly, but I guess that is sort of a distinguishing marker. The colors look gorgeous. I love the black vents on the side. I love that the guns become exhausts. There is some, like, you know, little robot feet, and, you know, obviously the underside is just a sarcophagus, essentially, which is really funny. Is this technically a shell former, actually? Might be, I don't know. By the way, guys, please subscribe. I do these streams quite often, along with other streams, so please tune in. And yeah, it rolls really well. All big, chunky plastic pinned wheels, so very, very nice. What an awesome figure. Highly recommend, especially when we get into the price later, which we'll do later. But the thing is, he's not the only metal Cardbot, I thought. This is a double video, I guess, because, well, let me explain to you something, guys. I'm a sucker for train transformers, and I'm a sucker for train transformers, and the number one I wanted for a while was Raiden. I have both MPG Raiden, G1 Raiden. I have the Sion Culture set, and I'm slowly working on getting Radiatron. So, imagine my excitement when I saw there was a metal Cardbot that was a train. This is, all right. So this right here is Blast Train. So this right here is Blast Train. He's a lot more expensive than the other one. This is kind of the top price range. And, well, first of all, just looking at the cab, it's both really awesome, but also very clearly a lot more obviously robot. You got, well, for one, his head's poking out a little bit, and you can kind of see chest. You got his feet. Yeah, very, very obviously trained, but it's still, I think it still works nice. I like the kind of, I think the face works a little better. I think it's because the color scheme is gorgeous. Black, gold, red. It's a really, really nice, solidly contrasting thing, and a lot of chromage. And trust me, just more later. And of course, you know, what's a train without cars? It's got big old train cars, and yes, you can attach them, and it's really nice. I'm not gonna do that on stream. Train cars works a little bit better to hide what they are, so it's nice. But still, really nice. And feels solid too. Like, this is Cybertron kind of plastic quality, which is really impressive. I'll put these down for now because I'll look at chat a little bit more later. It's just a big, solid, chunky thing. Doesn't roll quite as well, but I think for this you're kind of more inclined to, you know, that kind of thing. Oh, actually, I think I may have mistransformed it. I think this part's supposed to go in a little bit more, whereas right now he's got a little bit of a robo dingle hanging out. Okay, let me get set up. I'm gonna get set up for transformation because transformation's a lot more involved this time, and it's really cool. But I need to get them ready. There are reports of Moon Studio aid in break-in. I don't recommend anything Moon Studio. Ooh. It's kind of a little bit late now. But we'll see. I know of a lot of the horror stories of Moon Studio, but I'm a sucker for trained Transformers. What can I say? Astro Train, love it. Astro Train, love it. Hell, I got. Oh, that's why it was a little bit. Ooh. What is up my? What's up with my camera here? Weird. It's not all the way center like I want it to. There we go. Oh, that's better. Okay. So, transformation. Let's do this. Before I start, actually, I should point out, this is the deluxe mode, which I don't want to dive into the price yet, but when you hear the price of this, oh god. Anyhow, well, let me get some toe jam and Earl girling. Right, for this guy, first of all, we unload these and kind of fold them in. Nice and easy. This is a very nice and then you pull this up and you readjust your camera so that you can see everything a little bit better. Yep, everything's in focus. Guard walk mode, I guess. Okay, and then you fold this flat down. Those are the feet, and then you rotate the feet out a little bit. There you go. These are already pulled out all the way, good. And then this last step is nice and easy. Oh, actually, I think, did I do this wrong? Yeah, I think I did. I actually have to, what I do is, yeah, I have to rotate it there. Okay. Whew. Pull these up. I gotta hide my camera anymore. This is already a big toy. Pull up the shoulders, and then you pull back these, a little stiff, and then you push this down, pull up the head, which is easier said than done sometimes, and there we go. Nice little head. Okay, let me pause Toe Jam and Earl again and go back to Sims. I love Blast Train. I wish his toy came with his conductor self, like in the show. You already get a lot of bang for your buck, but I get what you mean. But anyhow, yeah, Blast Train. So already, this is huge. This is a big guy. I'm going to zoom. I'm gonna fix the focus. Big guy. SpongeBob, big guy pants. Okay. I don't know. Just this guy is nuts in comparison to oh yeah, I think I have to press the feet in a little bit. That looks a little bit more proportioned. Just a big ass figure. And he's got the entire truck face on his back. But you know what? It's not the worst. And you know, when you kind of see what we're doing later, it's actually still kind of impressive. And now the colors are a lot more spread out. It looks awesome. Look at that. Face. Really nice face sculpt. Not quite as nice as Blue Cop, I think, but again, just this is an immensely satisfying toy. And of course, like this looks remarkably high end, and we haven't even gotten to the best part yet. We'll do that in a little bit. Camera is getting a little bit hot again, so turn it off. Hello. Do we have any other train guys right now on hand? It's kind of funny because, again, I have the Moon Studio on, which hopefully it won't break. Although, let me tell you, these guys are a bitch and a half to transform. It's kind of funny. I actually think, quality-wise, like in terms of like paint and all that, I actually think those look better than this. And this is supposed to be like a high-end, figure, but I don't know. It kind of looks a little bit cheap. And of course, this is like $150 at least. No, that's wrong. It's just 100. But I'll finish the set. I think what's great about Cardbot is some real nice competition for Transformers. Like, I don't think Cardbot is going to end Transformers, but as someone who's tired of current TF, I'm so glad for these. I'll dive more into that later, but oh my god. When I tell you guys what the price of these things when they come out in the US is going to be, it's going to be a little bit... It's going to hurt. That's all I'm going to say. It's going to hurt! In fact, why don't I get a figure... Did I seriously leave my fucking microphone on my laptop while I was doing that transformation? God, I just... Should I go on the Bluetooth? Oh, whoops. And where's the figure? Here's the figure. Yeah, let's get him. Get him for a size comparison later. And let's get you for a size comparison later. What else? Are there any other figures I should use for the comparison? So yeah, I'll get you. Don't you just hate it when you're kind of reaching around your collection and everything's falling? Minerva, no. Or Athena, or whatever they call it. Getting this guy ready for comparison later. If you want another Jinrai, I would recommend the Fans Hobby version. I've seen that one. It's okay. I think it's a little too overly stylized for me, which I love Fans Hobby's figures normally, but I don't know. Something about their Jinrai is a little bit odd. Like, I have their Overlord and their figures of the Headmaster Juniors. Beautiful stuff. I love them all. But I don't know. Something about their Jinrai just looked a little bit wrong. Maybe it's the fact that those other four are, like, surprisingly very cartoon accurate, and then Jinrai is, like, from that early stages of like a lot of third parties kind of having their, not being sure what their own style is, but I don't know, it just doesn't work as well for me. The designs have a lot of personality. I mentioned that earlier, yeah. Metal Cardbot, I think, has such great personality, because Tomox looks way too much like Transformers that are just not as good. In fact, sometimes to the point of controversy, there actually was. I think the character was Tobot Steel. It looks exactly like Optimus Prime. Red, blue, white color scheme with like little yellow highlights here and there. It's insane. And then Hello Carbot, also very similar, and also whereas Cardbots just have way more personality, especially with like that one character Taki. Like, yeah, thick, obviously, but I don't think Taki would have brought as much attention if not for the fact she has a very fun personality that really gets through into design. And, you know, especially when you consider sometimes Transformers are a little bit kind of poo-faced. Like, this is Jazz, the happy one. He's still like... Okay. Alright, so let's show off the articulation now. No more webcam. Under these settings, it might turn off. Yes, I know. It sucks. That's what sucks about using a 4K camera. But I give a shit about quality, damn it. That train one looks like a Chuggington chain. How dare you? But also accurate. It's Chuggington on. It's Chuggington. How dare you? But that is also accurate. It's Chuggington, but badass. I remember that there was a Tobot or a Hello Carbot that was just Cybertron Evac, same transformation and all. Ooh. Okay, so design-wise, this guy looks great. Everything's spread out. He really fits the train conductor. But oh my God, you gotta see the articulation for this one. Unfortunately, not on a dumbbell joint, so only like 360 degrees and looking up and down. Still fine, but I like that dumbbell. Shoulders are adjustable. Hey, and again, ratchets. We got a little bit of T-posing action, and of course, you know, they rotate all the way, and again on ratchets. Elbows are not on ratchets, but they're perfect elbows, which is really friggin' nuts. It's for the transformation, but still. You got something that could technically be a butterfly joint, actually. You need to put this part up, but you do have a ratcheted waist swivel, and we'll dive into why that's there later, and an ab crunch. A beautiful ratcheted ab crunch. Holy crap. That is good stuff. You got a little bit of this. No comment. And also there is waist swivel, but it's a bit of a pain to use. So there's that. And then you got, this skirt is ratcheted too. And then there's this little part here you want to flip up to sometimes. And with this, you get really good ratchet spread. Oh my God, that looks just so wrong. Oh, that feels so good. Upper thigh swivel. Oh, really nice. Again, ratcheted knees. And foot. You kind of got a little bit of maneuverability there, but not a lot. It's not the most useful. Not the most useful little bend, but I think the feet are big enough that you can still get some good poses in. But yeah, careful there, camera. But yeah, that's real. Put a PC heatsink on it to ease the heating problem. I've heard of those. It's just all a matter of finding the one that's the right size. I don't like overly ratcheted figures. I think, though, the ab crunch should be ratcheted. I don't like overly ratcheted figures either. Sometimes it can limit articulation. But for these guys, considering how big they are and how like they're meant for younger kids, I can see why they went with the ratchets everywhere. But anyhow, posing time. Okay, so in contrast to the last guy, in contrast to Blue Cop, as far as his weak dab, this guy, hey, now look at that. Oh, you gotta get it in just right. Oh, come on. Yeah, come on. Yeah, that's cool. That is cool. Let me zoom in. Yeah. Yeah. Oh. And then also, and actually, since we did a superhero landing last time, let's do that. Okay. So one leg forward, one leg back. And then I think, oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Ooh. Ooh, that is cool. Oh, that is sick. Look, actually, wait, I think I can make it look even. Any other pose suggestions? I got one. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Have you done a size comparison yet? Not yet. So let me get a size comparison real quick with this guy. There we go. Well, let me hold on. I'm gonna have to put him up to my face so I can get him standing nice and straight. There we go. Okay, so I'll put him here. Are we zoomed right? Yeah. So size comparison time. Let's get some guys out. First, we got Crumple Zone, just to give again that Cybertron vibes. Boy, these guys don't look far off, do they? So yeah. Excuse me. There's that. Here's Studio Series Deluxe Jazz that I already kind of brought in before, but might as well bring it back out. We love jazz. You like jazz? Here's Power of the Primes Leader Evolution Optimus Prime, if I can stand him up. There we go. Actually, he's not quite straight up, so give me a sec. Hold up. There we go. Here's Power of the Prime's Leader Class Evolution Optimus Prime. So just about this, very similar heights, actually. Very similar. And finally, of course, my favorite thing for all of these size comparisons, me. So yeah, well, I didn't think it was leader size. Oh, you ain't seen nothing yet. So yeah, big chunky figure. And if that was it, that'd be one thing. But no. No. Do you have a Commit Lander class or Star Convoy? I want to save that for later because we ain't done. Oh, baby, we ain't done. I'm actually going to turn off my webcam for a bit, my camera for a bit, because we're going to do a webcam comparison. And we're, I mean, not a webcam. We're going to do a transformation in a bit. I want to get a picture of this guy because Sometimes I forget where certain parts are supposed to go. But oh God, when you see this, oh God, I'm saving the commander class for later just because, yeah, you'll see. I'll get Star Convoy though. I can get him too. Okay, got that. Got the, where's my Toe Jam and Earl music? Okay, got Toe Jam and Earl on standby, ready to go. But yeah, let me put this down real quick and go get, so yes, getting a couple more commander class figures would not be a bad idea at all. Who else do I have? Who else do I have on standby? Not including, not including leaders. Here we go. There we go. That was work. Let's get good old Star Convoy and good old Armada Prime. I think those are very good comparisons for later, and illustrates what I think is a big problem. You tell me you're not a purple Karibo? No, I'm just a mildly overweight white guy who does toy videos in his garage. You get Jinrai. Someone really likes Jinrai. You know what? For you, buddy. I'll do it. Let's get Masterpiece Jinrai. Actually, yeah, getting Jinrai is actually going to be very fitting for how this guy works. I need to get the. I kind of want to get the Legends Jinrai that's out there, but I know that figure has a lot of problems. Unless you get like a certain version of him, that's kind of, it's kind of a bummer because I actually watched Super God Master Force. Great show. All right, guys, we ready? Okay, so the thing is, this guy. So here's the thing. This guy is a lot like Jinrai in that, I guess the term is combiner, but he's got like an upgrade for Power Master. Screw it, I'm calling it Power Master. Or I guess you could call it a, what are they called? Power Core Combiners. Yeah, this is going to be a really fun transformation. So brace yourself. Let me get the, why is it doing this like, why is it doing that where like I touch it slightly? But anyways, I'll look at the comments in a bit. Let's do Toe Jam and Earl. So for this guy, it's going to be quite the experience. So we're actually going to, I'm not the only one noticing that, right? It's moving ever so slightly. Let me get it on tighter. Okay. So for the feet, rotate. You just kind of rotate them in like this. This, nice and easy. And then I think you kind of have to push them in slightly. Actually, wait, I think there's a button. Yeah, there's a button on the side that lets you do it, which is very helpful. And then, how do I do this? Then you rotate this part, rotate his head, and pull down the skirt. And then what you do is, what do you do next? I can't remember. I think you pull up the shoulder bits again. Then, yeah, so then, yeah, I think yeah, that's how we do it. You pull down that and press in the arms. If they'll want to, there we go. I've actually been doing this without the instructions, which is honestly a good sign for me. Sometimes even like sort of regular Transformers, I need the instructions. So the fact that these I can just kind of whip out is really nice. Now then, the next bit. Yeah. Can the camera stop doing that? That'd be great. All right, next, we get the cars. In first car, we got a little hat. Let's attach that on last, I think. Let's pull this out. Pull this bit back and pull this down. And then you go open this up and you get an arm. And you get the first arm. There we go. And then I think, if I'm right, you rotate this and rotate that down. That's arm the first. And for this is going to become the feet. So you just, oh, come on, come on, come on. There we go. Pull up the toes, pull this back, and there was another step. Yes, and then, nope, nope, actually we're good. And then, as a better toy reviewer would put it, second verse, same as the first, and we got a gun here. Not the best gun. We'll dive into that more later. Okay, and then detach. Detach, pull out. And yep, that's all well and funky. And then you just, for this bit, you pull this down. Rotate. I repeat, rotate. Where's the arm again? There it is. There we go. And rotate this ratchet joint. Oh, there you go. Yeah. I think there is a way to, oh yeah, there we go. You just pull that back a little bit. I could have sworn there's a way to push this out more, but I don't think there is. Unless I'm going crazy here. Oh, yes, there is actually. You just got to pull it out. You just got to pull it out a little bit more. My bad. All right, let's attach the legs first. Oh, and I knocked my light. That's not good. Arms remind me of Raiden. You know, yeah, no, I love sort of any train combining robot. Okay, do be warned, if when you get to this step, do make sure like everything's very, very properly aligned. I accidentally got it stuck recently when I was transforming him last night, and it was a pain to get it out. So yeah, just kind of get it in, and it's actually a very snug, very, very snug fit. So don't worry. Just make sure, you know, the rails are aligned. Movie recording stopped. Give me one moment. let me go through these. Got the Korean or Chinese versions? Chinese, because I got them. Well, I got them in China. I don't know if there are any massive differences though, so keep in mind. Okay, where's delete? Where's, yeah, dump that. Yeah, I don't need that. That's for a collab. That's long been done. Ooh, you like a little behind the scenes? And, yeah, that was for a collab I did with someone. I'm not gonna say who because I don't remember if they said they wanted to keep my appearance a secret. The only difference I can imagine is the paint and the cards have English text on them. Oh, that's good to know. Yeah, I should have. Sorry, bulkhead. Sorry. Yeah. God, I really have been out of it, haven't I? Okay. But yeah, a little bit of behind the scenes for you guys. Okay, I think that's good. Let's get back to the matter at hand. Let's zoom a little bit back in. US version we're getting is just imports of the Chinese versions. That's fine. That's fine. Okay, so like I demonstrated before, you gotta make sure that the rails are really on there tight. Otherwise, you're gonna have some problems. I hope it at least. Okay. And then we readjust our camera again because holy fuck, this thing is huge. There we go. And then it's attaching is very simple. You just click it in at the side for the arms. And then for the hat, you can take this out, click it in, but not too much in, otherwise the head will sink in. And then you just click in. There we go. And there we go. Also, didn't know you live in China. No, I went to China a little bit ago. Oh, that's how I got these. Got them for a good price at Toys R Us, actually, which is not dead in China. I'll demonstrate. I even picked up a little Toys R Us catalog, actually, which is kind of neat. But yeah, gonna have to zoom out for this one. Oh my God. Okay. I'm gonna try my best to fit this all into frame, but holy crap. Holy shit. Just transforming this thing and getting it back. Holy crap, this thing looks amazing. Like it's okay. First of all, I gotta zoom in more. Focus. Can I just say, this thing is ridiculously gorgeous. Is it really? Why is it not? Hold on. Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. Uh-oh. Overheating again. But yeah, let's just, can we just, this is amazing. Oh my God, this thing is so huge. This is, and this is, oh, this is gorgeous. This is so gorgeous. I'm looking forward to showing more, but we'll get that. You know what? Let's start filming again. We'll start filming again because I just need to show this thing off. Nah, it's too hot. Too hot. This thing is too hot for TV. Yeah, love how the camera is over here. It's like you're low on health or stamina. Yeah. I'll demonstrate it some more in a little bit, but I'll do size comparisons in a bit. But like, look at this thing. Look at it. This is one of the most gorgeous transforming robots I've ever seen. This is what sold. This I think is what sold me on Metal Cardbots and this figure. As soon as I saw this, there are a few others. I really like the look of Black Hook, and there are a couple others that I really want to get from that are coming out later. But this guy is what made me want to go, okay, I need to look into this. I need to just look into this, get this, and just think. And I just don't regret it in the slightest. This thing is so, is just cool. But let's look at the comments. US version we're getting are just the imports of the Chinese version. That's fine. That's fine. This is the Chinese version right here. I don't know. Are there any big differences? It probably has to be like different regulations on paint, doesn't it? Which, that's fine. How was your trip to China? Wonderful. Had a great time. Met a lot of my wife's family, and I guess now I'm part of their family. It was wonderful. Love how the camera overheating is like you're low on health on ammo. Yeah, Last Trade's one of my favorites. It's one of mine too. I love them. Have you seen the current Mini Force Dinoid stuff that some SAMG is also making? Dino Force, where have I heard that? That sounds so familiar. Hold on. I'm going to Google that right now because I feel like... Dino Force. I've seen these. I think... are they also... yeah, they're also like... Oh, no, that's Dino King. Oh, these are cute little things. Oh, my God. That's a cool combiner, actually. Yeah, I'll show that here. That's actually a kind of cool combiner. Do they all become their own individual robots, or no? Rex Kaiser Dinoid. Oh, my God. Yo. I just looked up that Rex Kaiser thing. You can't do this to me. Holy shit, that thing's amazing. Yo. Oh my God, and I might actually be able to get him for like a halfway decent price. Oh my God. Oh, what have you done to me? That thing looks amazing. Where have I heard the term dinoid before? Wait, is this the one that I think it is? is I'm gonna have to go on Twitter. Oh, the same designers of both Cardbot and Miniforce. I can kind of tell. Hold on, I'm gonna go to look at the black repaint. Hey, Rex Hazard, it's cool. I bet. Hold on, I need to check something. Hold on. What's the name? Okay. Oh, there. I can't remember the name of it, but there was a Dynacore. That's it. Okay, sorry, not Dinoid. Sorry, I got it mixed up. There's a range. There's another Korean kind of robot sort of dinosaur show called Dynacore. Dynacore, and the thing is, yeah, it's another Korean show. Is it made by the same guys who made? Is it made by the same guys who did? Cardbot, actually, hold on. Dynacore show. No, that one's produced by Tubin. The main thing I know about Dynacore is the character of Kaya, because thick, very thick. That's the only thing I know about Dynacore. I don't know if the toys for that are anything special, but if they are, please let me know. I am curious. And is there a toy of Kaya? Yeah, Super 10 is another great toy line with. I gotta learn more about like all these Korean Super 10 Korean toys. Ooh, these look nice. Ooh, there's one that I'm looking at and I'm thinking, okay. Yeah, I guess I know, like, for a while I've heard about like some of the Korean like robot toys were really good. Is are really good, but I just didn't look into it. But this guy, I kind of want to get this guy. Yeah, so Super 10, Dinoid, Dynacore. God, there's so many of them. All right, let's get back to the matter at hand, though. Also, I have my music on. That's not good. So yeah, what do I say? What can I say other than big? This is like legitimately one of the. Oh, whoops. Ah, no. Legs. No, don't do this to me. Yeah, I do have to adjust the legs slightly. So there we go. Now they're clicked in all the way and they're secure. Big. Like this thing is just so ridiculously good looking. This thing, by comparison, is one of the most ridiculously gorgeous toys ever. Like, Blue Cop was fine. This guy is so... Oh, my God. I gotta... just... From all angles, everything is so good. The backpack is very cleverly removed. The color separation is fantastic. I love how much now the gold is so much more prominent. Like, first form was mostly black, second form was mostly red. This is just all gold. All gold everything. Oh my God. Now then, articulation-wise, head's about the same. Actually, before we get into the articulation real quick, I just want to say, I love all the chrome. I miss chrome on Transformers. I know chrome doesn't have to be on it, but like, it looked great on Deathsaurus. It looked great on Omega Prime. I miss chrome. Blast Train's just another character. What's great about Cardbots? Almost all they look like they can be the main bot. Yeah, no, that's what I was saying. When I first saw this guy, I thought, why is this guy not the main character? He's just so good. You got a head, and then I'm gonna have to really adjust these just to show off the articulation. Oh my God. So, first of all, we got articulation there, which is really nice. A little bit of a shrug action. I think, yeah, you can also kind of cheat a butterfly, which I don't recommend, but it's there. Full, and then you got, he's got the Bruticus thing where his shoulder likes to detach. Full rotation here. There are 90-degree elbows. Swivel at the upper shoulder or upper bicep, upper arm. You can kind of flick the wrist a little bit. You can kind of flick the wrist a little bit, but I don't think you can rotate it. Unless I'm doing something wrong. It could be. Skirt flap still there. Should note, there's a little thing here to kind of solidify the connection and kind of make it everything stiff. But when you remove that, and also rotate this up, you get a full ratcheted waist swivel and an arching back. Oh my God. Blue Cop has their own Super Cop mode. Figure look up Blue Cop Trinity. I've seen that one. It looks cool. But there's another upgraded form of Blue Cop I want to get. And if you know Metal Carbot, like it seems like you do, you know what I'm talking about. I'm actually going to put that. Little thing back on for now. So legs. Beautiful ratcheted rotation at the way. You got a pretty good ratchet at the leg. Let me show that again. There you go. And rotation at the knee, which is great. And look, even a ratcheted ankle pivot. A ratcheted ankle pivot. The toes are ratcheted. The toes are ratcheted. Holy crap. This is just, oh my God. For a combined mode, not only, except for the wrists, which is a bit of a bummer, this is a combined mode that actually adds to the articulation in many regards. Oh my God. Yeah. And then, okay, articulation-wise, let's get. I know. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do a dab. Come on. Yeah, buddy. Rotate the head. Rotate the head slightly. Rotate the waist. Oh, by the way, also these are articulated too. Yeah, look at that. And of course with the, whoa, and of course with the, oh, oh, oh. You can still get, you can get good dabs in. It's still cool. Let's do that Iron Man pose again, actually. Only bummer is because we no longer have the, actually, yeah, because we no longer have the ab crunch, we're not gonna be able to get the whole, you know, the Iron Man kind of thing, which sucks a little bit, but this is still a really nicely articulated figure for what it is. Any other post suggestions, actually? Chat. Also, if you guys haven't subscribed yet, please do. I film quite often. God. Oh, also, all these ratchet joints. So many good sounding ratchets. Oh. This is just such a good figure. I love this thing. I love this thing. One of my favorite purchases ever for any kind of Transformers, period. Now then, let's do size comparisons. Shall we? Oh boy. So, we'll do that in a little bit. Let's give my camera a chance to cool down and look over chat real quick. I will say this: the overheating, the whole issue with the overheating does give me an excuse to kind of stop and look at chat. Yeah, so that's all well good. I'm gonna get a Blue Cop ready for a little bit of a size comparison. Fun fact, did you know that Digimon, the guy who wrote Digimon Data Squad is also a writer on Metal Carbot? It's kind of cool. Okay, let's get the skirt flipped up and around. There we go. There we go, Blue Cop. Okay, so I miss combining figures. So much great to see one again. Yeah, no, I saw that combiner. That thing, the Grand Blue Lion looks so cool. I want to get one. I really want to get one. Okay. Okay, we're ready. Yeah, and I'm gonna have to. We're gonna have to adjust one more time. And yeah, we're gonna have to film it like this. Is it tilting? Yeah, it's my, oh, that's why the show's so good. Yeah. Okay, so the show is good. I might check it out. Oh. Not actually. Okay. Yeah, unfortunately, we're going to have to, I'll have to, yeah, I'm going to have to adjust that later. And I swear, did I bump my camera? What? Okay, what is up with my camera? Okay, that's as good as it's going to get. Okay, size comparison time for all, for him now. And first, we got Blue Cop. Nice little size comparison. Also, shoulder came undone again. Yeah, that's one big flaw. One flaw. Then let's get Crumple Zone. Yep. Here he is next to Studio Series Jazz, just because, again, I have him. I have him on hand. And then there's me. Yeah. Actually, before we do further size comparisons, I almost forgot. So we got the weapon, which is this kind of crappy little gun. I don't care for it, honestly. Oh, hello. But I do have his little, what I do have instead are his little weapons. So you take off the card, and these things are so cool. These little bear claw things are so cool. They're basically articulated, first of all, and they just kind of clip on like that, and that just looks, that takes an already good figure and makes it even better. And of course, because the fingers are articulated. oh, wait a minute. Oh, the gun's from the. Oh, that's why it's so loose. This thing wasn't tightened up. Okay, that's good. I'm glad I finally worked that out. Okay. Oh, guard's full. Let's fix that. Show is really fun, but it's a bit more slice and knife. But season 2 and 3 have been great. Okay, good. I was wondering about that. Footage for a scrapped video. Actually, I kind of want to keep that visual. Was Skids about to propose to the girl from Kleinhead? That's actually kind of funny. Yeah, okay. Okay, there we go. That should be fine. Uh-oh. Did it unfroze again? It did. It did. I guess it really doesn't like me messing with the settings too much, so. Uncle Show versus camera, round 4. Yeah. But not too bad this time. Actually, you know what I should do? There we go. Kind of doesn't work because you can't really see the head too well, but still. I always appreciate a middle finger mode. Always. Can this extend further? Yeah. Oh, that works. That works. That is cool. Oh. Okay. Okay, let's get these claws extended. I like that the claws also spread out. It's a little thing that goes a long way. All right. I'm actually gonna get one more little thing for the size comparison, just because it's gonna demonstrate just an issue. Yeah, that'll do. I'm gonna redo the size comparisons again real quick, just because. So, real quick, blue cop. Oh, I had his shoulders wrong. Whatever. Here's Studio Series Deluxe Jazz, just because I have them on hand. Here's oh, I don't have. Why didn't I have Crumple Zone's arms out all the way? Weird. Here he is next to Crumple Zone, which again gives an idea. So yeah, and then so this is the equivalent of leader class. Let's get a Transformers leader class figure in. And oh, it's overheating. Here he is next to that's So, let's address the big fat elephant in the room. This thing versus that. So metal Cardbots are scheduled to release soon in the United States, and they released the price listings. So for deluxe class figures, it's gonna be, how much is it? How much did they say? Deluxe class is gonna be $25. Their equivalent of Voyager class is gonna be $35. Although there are some like semi-upgraded forms, so the price can differ. And the price of leaders, so for example, guys like him, is roughly going to be $65. Yeah. So just a reminder, that guy is $65. This is $60. And I know this guy comes with all sorts of like little accessories. You know, he comes with all the cassettes. That's, you know, but yeah, it does make you think. And of course, you know, and even with the smaller one, like the deluxe size guy, like Blue Cop, again, just for comparison, this is $25, and this is also $25. No, actually, no. This guy is $25, and he's got the big arm, but I don't want to grab it right now. Deluxes are now $28. Yeah, that's a little bit of a panic. And of course, you know, there's also the thing with Voyager class figures where now a lot of them are $43. And the problem there is a lot of Voyagers nowadays kind of feel like just spicy deluxe figures. You know, because there's a difference between this and a figure like, oh, I'm very lazy. Can I pick it up? Yeah. I got too many fucking robots. You know, there's a big difference between this, which is a Voyager, and this, which was a deluxe for something like Cybertron, you know? Because this has like sounds, all sorts of gimmicks. And this one, the only gimmick is really the missile launcher. Here. Also, if you don't like Thunder Blast, get out of here. I love Thunder Blast. I'm not sure, but I think them being on Amazon would be great. I think they are going to pop up a lot more than a lot of the competitors have. But yeah, it is a little bit, it's a little bit crazy that the site, how much like, because it's not just size. If it was just size, it'd be one thing, but the articulation's there, paint, chroming, so much. You get a ton of bang for your buck. And going back to this. I ordered the first batch on Big Bad Toy Store. I do charge a bit more, but I think it's worth it. It's Big Bad Toy Store. They always charge a little bit more than they should. But, like, for comparison, you know, Commander class, here's Armada Prime, which, you know, functionally is very similar. He's 98, whereas, and, you know, he's still this is still a great figure, don't get me wrong, but, you know, that's quite a difference. Or, you know, here's, I gotta be very careful, I don't knock out for everything. Here's Commander class Jetfire, which is a little bit more of a comparison, but there actually aren't that many figures of Jetfire size in Commander class. A lot of them are just leaders with trailers, aren't they? Sometimes literally in the case of Prime. And he's a great figure, don't get me wrong, but there is something with this that feels a little bit more higher end, because with Siege Jetfire, because the legs are very hollow, you can kind of hear them echo inside. And the only other like big figures that really compete, I guess, in terms of size and articulation is stuff like, you know, you got Commander class Star Convoy here. And Star Convoy, you know, he is bigger, and in many ways he has better articulation. But, you know, just comparing them, while this guy is bigger, he's a lot more basic looking and toyetic compared to this guy. This guy feels a lot more sort of super high end compared to this. And I love Star Convoy, don't get me wrong. Some people are very down on him, but I still think he's a great toy. Hey. The only other Transformer I could think of that has the size while also not costing an arm and a leg, really, sadly, Cyberworld Scorponok here, which, you know, roughly the same size arms, but, and also they are the same MSRP, $60 versus 65. Excuse me, $60 versus 65. But here's the thing, of course, this is just leagues above in terms of quality. Like, there's no articulation from this point, there's no articulation down here in these legs. It's all fake. The transformation is baby basic. And I know this thing is more so like kind of like a big play set for the little small Cyberworld figures, which are charming enough on their own. I actually like the little Cyberworld figures. But this guy, you know, is, you know, just comparing them. And yeah, this guy's got lights and like a bunch of other gimmicks, but I don't know. This guy, I don't know. There's something about this guy. And just because somebody asked, and because the transformation works similarly, so here he is next to MPG German. Amazing how these guys, it doesn't look out of place next to a Masterpiece figure. That's really cool. Cool. I really like that. To be honest, I feel like Transformer figures have been kind of the wrong price ever since the end of Power of the Primes. Because Power of the Primes made sure each kind of price class was very, very different. and also made sure you were kind of getting your money's worth. Like, for example, here's Power of the Prime's Optimus Prime. Not the greatest figure in the world, although I still really like him. This guy, when he came out, was, ooh, a little bit of dust here, a little bit of spit. Sorry about that. This guy was $45 when he came out. And I think that's totally fair back then and even now, because $45, you got the figure going, you got the two figures become one kind of gimmick. You got plenty of pretty solid articulation for the time. He looks great. Right? Like, I actually think that's a totally reasonable gimmick price. And of course, compare like Power of the Primes and Titans Returns. Again, here's Titans Return. Here's a Titans Return leader with old Soundwave here. Air, and again, that being 45, that being 65, that makes sense. And again, here's Combiner Wars Megatron, which I know not everyone's favorite figure, but again, that being 45, 65 makes sense. That's all reasonable. But that's not where we're at. That's not where we're at these days. Most leaders are for Transformers are just so tiny now, and I would have said it's the engineering that justifies the cost. It doesn't have to be. Sometimes simple is good. And in fact, actually, that Astro Train they're releasing right now, that thing, oh my God, that thing's just an eyesore. $60, ridiculous. Ugh. All right, camera's overheating. Chat time. Hello. Okay. Yeah, chat time. Actually, I think I'm gonna stop filming the footage. I got a lot of footage already, and I'll film some more later. Just need to get, some B-roll and all that. So let's talk some more. Let's talk some more. Or in the meantime, let me get Blue Cop, and I'll get him in a bit. Let me reattach his hand. Side out SS Soundwave is like only a bit cheaper. Yeah, no, that is a problem. Hello, I'm Stu Adams. I ordered a whole 440 to use it. It's crazy because even in Japan, Cardbots still beats what Japan has been releasing with Bandai and Takara. Like, this would have been like a dumb $200 release from SOG or Soul SOG. Oh, Soul Chogokin, yeah. Or T-Spark. Yeah, no, that thing, yeah, that's crazy. I have Soul Chogokin figures, and they are amazing. But but I'm kind of good with like getting model kits for a lot of them. Is the which one did I want? I kind of want the Megazord one, but I've also heard some mixed things on it, so we'll see. 200 or T-Spark. Yeah, no, it's crazy. How popular have these things been in Japan, actually? I do wonder about that. How much were they in China? Would you say the U.S. prices matches up to at least the China price? Yes, 100% actually. I think I can confirm, actually. Hold on. I have, because while I was in China, I kept the little catalog for the figure. Oh, sorry, I kept it in a. For some reason, I kept it in the Gao Gaigar in like a model kit box I had. Real quick, by the way. Real quick. Here are the instructions. Which proper booklet. Just saying. I don't even need it to be a booklet, but this is a full booklet for both going to and from the transformation. Love it, love it, love it. And then here's Toys R Us catalog. So let me find the section on Metal Cardbot. We can get an idea. Here we go. All right, so let me get a currency calculator. And I dropped it on the floor. Brilliant. UN to dollars. So, so yeah, real quick. This is just kind of cool. It's oh look, we also got some Transformers in there. We'll compare those later. Okay, so where's Blue Cop? There he. There he is. How much was he? It says here 150 yuan. So 150 yuan, that's about $21 according to this. And there's no sales tax really in China, so yeah, that's not far off. A little bit cheaper, but still within the ballpark. Still within the ballpark. And then meanwhile, Blast Train was 499 yuan, so that's about $72 US. Okay, so actually, I'm gonna rework that a bit. So 75, it's probably gonna be 75 as far as US price equivalent. But that's still kind of nuts if you think about it, because like $15 difference. $15. That's still nuts. And I still think that's worth it. I still think that is entirely worth it. Even like the eBay kind of scalping prices, which are ridiculous, by the way, I hate that. They still feel a little more reasonable at times than Transformers. So yeah. But yeah, here are the other Cardbots for sale, if you're curious. There was one that looked really cool. It was like it's like a centaur that turned into like a blackbird. I kind of want to get my hands on that actually. Oh, by the way, Mr. Beast Lab. Mr. Beast has reached China, unfortunately. And also there are some like proper chug Transformers too, for like the latest wave. So I think these are some coupons to get it off. So 419 yuan for Soundwave. 419 yuan. Or for a little less money, you could get this tri-blue. It's the one you mentioned earlier. I can't remember the name. Named Blue Cop. That like turns into like a big figure. I saw him. I was tempted to get it, but I had limited space, so yeah. Okay. Coughing Baby SS86 versus Hydrogen Bomb Blast Train. Yeah. Yeah, so prices I think actually did match up. So that's all well and good. Yeah, I'm keeping this, by the way. I like having toy store catalogs. I don't think Cardbot has been released in Japan yet, but comparing to what's coming out from Bandai to Car, it's insane. Yeah. 75 does make sense for Blast Train. Okay. I hope they keep the price still at 75 when it comes out in the US, but honestly, even if that thing was like 90 or 100 bucks, which Commander class is being upgraded to 100 bucks, I still think that's worth way more than like a lot of Commander class. Just the value is insane. And I'm always going to love Transformers. I love the characters, but we're living in times where like I think the price has got to go down, especially because, or at least the fundamentals should be more akin to what it was like during the Prime Wars trilogy. I think there's something to be said about sort of just, yeah. Now I'm sad. Okay, let me put it like this. Like, I know there are a lot of Transformers fans that get excited for like a lot of the random B-list characters that get showed up. Like I saw some people get really excited that we got Carnivac or what's his name? Iron Fist, whatever, those guys. And I'm not, and I tend to be a little bit pickier with which Transformers I get. And now I think I am actually going to be even more picky. Like that Shockwave, cool that it connects to Bruticus, just don't need. Or, yeah, like I'm going to look a lot more at my collection. I'm just going to think, okay, I'm happy with this. And there's still some things I'm going to get, like, absolutely. Like, when we finally get those chug scale Rampage and Death Charge, you know I'm going to get them. I absolutely are. But yeah, it's insane that Cyberworld figures are $10. This should be the... Okay. I'm going to make a counter argument. If Cyberworld figures had elbow articulation, proper elbows, I think they'd be completely worth their price. They're cute. I like the little mini Cyberworld figures. They're cute for what they are. They kind of remind me of like Beast Wars basics. I just wish, you know, they have proper articulated elbows. And some of the other like Cyberworld figures actually look kind of neat. I actually have the Grimlock, who's very goofy but fun. Right. Once again, please subscribe. I'm going to be streaming pretty often from here on out, and I'm going to make a video about these guys at some point, so please definitely do that. Anything else before we... Any other questions, comments before we head out? Because I got to take a shower. I got to get ready. I have work later, and I also need to... and I also got to get showered. Your thoughts on Metal Carbot as a whole? Is it more unique than a Transformer? Depend. Okay, I will say they do a good job of making like each Carbot like have like its own distinct look. Transformers sometimes has a problem where certain characters look very similar. In fact, you know, whenever a Seeker mold comes out, we ask ourselves, how many are we getting? So I think there is that advantage, but I will say there are sometimes advantages to simplicity with the Transformers. There's like freaking Skids. Skids barely appeared in the shows, but because he had such a great like simple toy design, he keeps coming back. And I think it is getting a lot of attention. I think why Cardbots getting a lot of attention is because there's a bit of fresh air compared to the TF, which is a lot of the same designs over and over. Yeah, that is the biggest problem. We've been stuck on very G1-esque designs since I want to say, not so much, maybe Cyberverse? Would you count Cyberverse? I don't know. Definitely around then in the Prime Wars, we've been kind of stuck on very G1-esque design philosophy, and I think that's kind of been a bit of a mistake. We need kind of... I want something like a complete like revival in a way that kind of freshens things up. You know, because that was the great thing about Transformers for a long time. We did get that. You know, Beast Wars complete reinvention. That was great. Armada, that was a complete reinvention. Great. Bayverse, complete reinvention. Animated, complete reinvention. Prime, complete reinvention. I'm not even the biggest fan of RID 2015, but that was a complete reinvention too, even though it was a sequel to Prime. And I guess Cyberverse was close, but it's still very close to G1. And of course, Earthspark was, in a lot of ways, still very similar to Cyberverse and G1. Although that being said, the Terrans were kind of a cool design. And Cyberworld, I like Cyberworld, both the show and some of the little toys, but Cyberworld also feels like a very play it safe until we come up with the next big thing kind of option, which I don't think is what Transformers needs right now. They need something kind of fresh and cool, and they also just need to be more competitive with the prices. Cyberworld are almost competitive, but still. Yeah, the damn evergreen designs. I think that's why a lot of people are excited for Overgear, just because Overgear is such a different idea. And I'm not a fan of the overly military aesthetic. I want to see some colors, but, you know, idea-wise, there's something there. Something there. All right. Well, last thoughts in the last 2 minutes, and then we're going to wrap up. Let me get it. Let me get him again. I want to look at it and appreciate this guy. Look, my baby. Oh, look at him. Oh, this guy's so cool. Yeah, I would say Prime Wars was kind of the start of it. Although even the Prime Wars still try to tweak it. I wish we got Wild King here was full tour. I wish Wild King was like got a lot more effort put towards it because the show is so, it feels like a commercial basically, and it feels like it's not quite cooked all the way in a lot of ways. But still, really cool idea. I just wish that it was expanded again. Whoa. It's kind of a shame because right now the most prominent Transformers thing right now are probably the Blokies. The Blokies have sold ridiculously well. By the way, Blokies when I went to China, huge, everywhere. Blokies were everywhere when I was in China, which makes sense. They're great, but like, no, I could see them at like convenience stores everywhere. There. And now they've expanded Blokies to cover a lot of other stuff. They did a figure of Mari from Evangelion too, which is pretty nice. All right. One more comment, then we'll probably wrap up. By the way, I must say, I do appreciate. Last thing about Cardbots, do you think Taki is a better female Transformer design than most female Transformers designs? Let me put it like this. She has similarities to the female Transformer designs in terms of like the backpack, but I think they do a good job of trying to combine elements a little better than some female Transformers. I know female Transformer figures and like certain elements of their transformation bugs certain people, but I don't mind it a lot of the times. Like the Legacy Elita one, totally fine. Power of the Primes Elita one, gorgeous. I really want that. I want that figure. Really, the one that's the biggest problem is RC, just because RC is almost impossible. That being said, there's like New Age. They did a great job. Just because RC is just such a pain, and they're kind of still basing it on the Thrilling 30 figure. If you want the best still female Transformer, very explicitly female Transformer with very with like curvature and all that, with that still has a backpack that still works. Windblade. You can't go wrong with Windblade. I've never met a bad Windblade figure except for like the teeny weeny like Legion class figure. But I will say Taki does integrate a lot about them, integrate transformation a lot better, which I think does help her. I'm just looking at my shelf for anything else. While at the same time having a nice car mode. So great car mode, still doing really well. And also they make the backpack fit. Sometimes what people forget is a backpack can add a lot of personality. Like I actually think, who's a good, I know a lot of people dislike Thunderblast here for her cape, but if it was like a proper extending cape, like a Dracula cape like Scourge has, I think that actually would have been an amazing cape design. I still think it. What is he? Oh, is she just female role, not a female Transformer? Why does she always have that backpack? I like RC. I still like RC. I don't care what anyone says. I think she's a great design. But I will say, I think there are ways they could fix that backpack. I remember actually, apparently she was supposed to get a Voyager class figure. And I think that would have left a lot more room for the engineering, but we didn't get that. Kind of a bummer. And they just reused the Studio Series one, or Thrilling 30, which is a fine mold, was a great mold for the time, and it's still a good figure, but it's clearly aged. So I think if you're going to do an RC, which they have been doing some redos, so RC may not be off the table, I think what you should do is make a proper Voyager class one, because she's actually technically taller than Hot Rod in the movie. Hot Rod's kind of a manlet. So I hope they fix that up. I'm going to TFCon this Saturday, hoping to find more Cardbots. Definitely on the lookout for Taki. So I will let you know from there. But yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna wrap up. Thank you everybody for joining me. Have a wonderful day.